Hey, everybody. This is really just for guitar nerds or other musicians who might share these same ideas. I'm feeling really conflicted. I have, a nice stereo system with a nice collection of very wide-ranging albums. I mean, everything from Benny Goodman to Stevie Ray Vaughan to Cat Stevens to Joe Pass to George Van Epps to Leo Kottke, John Fay, just tons of stuff. Lots of old original Beatle albums, original issues, um, and then I have really, some nice guitars that I've acquired over many years, and frankly, never bought a guitar for an investment. I always bought a guitar because I liked the way it felt and I liked the way it played. And because I bought some of these many years ago, the phrase vintage now applies to some of this stuff, but that was never the intent. This guitar right here is an Aria Pro from, I think, the 90s, if I remember correctly. And it still has the plastic on the pick guard. It's absolutely immaculate. And I've owned this guitar. I bought it new from a company that I worked for. We were a distributor for Aria. And I've owned two Gibson 335s over the years, and they were both 60 models, 1960s, which now are Cadillacs of vintage collectible stuff. But at the time, I paid, gosh, the best one I think I paid $250 for, and sold it to a player here in town who I think still owns it for about $350, and I thought I was making out like a bandit. That guitar now is, depending on the market, $17,000 to $25,000. So c'est la vie. But this thing plays every bit as good. Sounds, I think, even superior. Tunability is even more stable than either of the 335s. Um, but it doesn't have the mojo. It doesn't say Gibson. It doesn't say ES 335. But it's a great guitar. So I'm conflicted. I have this guy and some Corbin Tellys and some Corbin Les Pauls and Tokai Strat I've owned since 84, 85. And they're all just great tools. They're also great friends. They all have memories attached to them. And I try to play them. But I'm conflicted with how do you find the time to do all this? I have stacks of music, stacks of albums, lots of guitars, a nice collection of oddball effects pedals. An original Vox 60s Crybaby, an Arion stereo chorus, original issue stuff. Um, Early days of Arion, not reproduction. Um, I have an Aria multi effects pedal that the reason I bought this MXR was because the Aria pedal is all plastic. It's probably 40 years old. And it has these spring loaded switches that are going to break. And the analog delay in that pedal is just cheap and great sounding. And it's got a chorus and a distortion circuit. And it's fabulous. But it's not going to last. So I wanted to be able to put it away and preserve it. And my favorite thing, honestly, is my Quilter amplifier. Um, I always forget what model it is, but it doesn't matter. It's a Quilter HD. I think it was called a Mach 3, maybe. Single 12. And it totally changed my life playing guitar. I had a vintage Fender Vibrolux, early 70s in the early circuit. And I played it for years, along with a Music Man HD 130, an old Magnatone I used for years, Magnatone Esty. Um, I've had a number of amps. And when I got this Quilter, every guitar that I plug into it, and I'm not doing a Quilter ad here, I'm just telling you my impression. Every guitar I plug into it sounds better than it ever did. The transient response is just right there. And I can get everything from just nice and warm. I'm playing on this 335 with flat wound strings. I think they're like 12 to 53s or something. And this thing still has great tone to it. And if I kick in, just the reverb and the overdrive on the amp. And I do have the MXR on. And I guess that's what we should talk about. Practicing and playing. I get this question a lot. How did you learn to play like that? Or how do you play that? That was a question today this week I got from a student. How do you play that? And it was a kind of a complex song. It wasn't a beginner's tune. And there is no answer other than you have to sit down, whether it's an acoustic guitar or electric guitar, and just play it. Flip the switches, turn the knobs, find a basic sound on your amplifier, and that's also treated as an instrument. You've got to learn how the controls work on your amplifier. Where are the sweet spots? And that takes time. It takes a lot of time. But I just sit down and I play and I listen to the different tones. I work with different picks. Right? Different strings. And I just sit and noodle. Right? And you just play things over and over and over. But you try to look for different combinations of notes, substituting different chords. And it all takes time. So there again, do I listen to albums? Do I put some MP3s on and headphones and listen to stuff? Do I watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos, which are great? Or do I just come in and play? Well, let me tell you this. There is no substitute for just coming in and playing your instrument. No substitute. You can watch all the videos you want. You can listen to all the albums you want. But until you put the time in physically playing and listening to what you're playing and trying to think out of the box and trying to think melodically, which all of those things, I've been playing quite a few years, and I'm just now beginning to feel I'm finding some of that. So I came in here tonight and I pulled out this aria because I missed playing it. What a nice piece. And I wanted to work with the carbon copy. So many of us buy effects pedals. I'm really more of an organic player anymore. I want to play with a pick or my fingers, the guitar plugged into the amp, some reverb, and I really did want to add a little bit of analog delay to my sound for some things because I've always enjoyed that sound. And I'm a Robben Ford fan, and I love his telly playing, and I love that little bit of delay he always has on. It just fattens up his sound. And lots of other players. So what I found, even with any effect pedal, chorus, distortion, phase shifter, whatever it is, carbon copy, analog delay, you really have to sit down and play your instrument and then tweak the knobs, each single knob, and understand what it does. And my view is I don't want the pedal to be the focus. I want the pedal to be an extension of what I play, whether it's distortion, whether it's chorus or flanging or whatever. I don't want to notice the pedal, except I want the enhancement that the pedal provides. So when I first started playing with the carbon copy, I would play something and I would hear, a lot of regeneration, or the delay was artificial sounding, and all I wanted is fatter. And if I turn things up too high, to me that becomes a different effect. And I'll see if I can change the delay here a little bit. Now, to me, that becomes artificial. So my delay is set down really low. My regeneration is set down real low, because I just want a little bit of slapback in my face. I'm not trying to play anything. And then I work with the guitar in overdrive or clean. And I learned what the tone controls do on my guitar. What does it sound like in the middle and blending the pickups? And how does the treble pickup sound? Back off the treble. So there's no substitution for playing. There's no substitution for experimenting and playing good notes and bad notes. Keep track of the bad notes so you maybe don't hit those again, and keep track of the good notes. And that's why I do these YouTubes, because my memory is so bad. I never started putting these up there for people to watch. It was a storage place for me to put up practice things and ideas, because I would work out a song and a week later I would forget how I was doing it. I do want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and sent really very, very kind notes. And I don't ask anybody to subscribe. I don't ask anybody to hit the like button. If you get anything from these, that's great. And I do these for different reasons. I do it for Meals on Wheels. I play guitar for people that are facing a challenge. I have distributors of our Corbin brand guitars in Asia who love Western music, and I do some instructional videos or just play some songs for them over there and do demos on our Corbin guitars. And a lot of it is just Ann and I knocking out some tunes, having fun. And the other part of that is me practicing. I can't say there's a single song up here that is finished. Everything really was just a repository for my poor memory to go back and reflect and rediscover how I played Michelle or Yesterday or Here's That Rainy Day or some tune, because I plumb forget really quick. So anyway, thank you everybody for the kind words. I hope this is interesting and helpful, and have a great evening.